Okay, so Connections 50 Plus. My background is in business development, consultancy. And I look at life as a series of stages. Um, Jane Fonda has a wonderful YouTube video, and I want each of you all to look at it. It's called The Third Act. And she says essentially that our life is cut into 3 phases, 30-year phases, 30, 60, 90, because we are living to 90. In the first phase, we essentially ruled by mom, dad, employer, trying to make things happen. In the second stage to 60, we are really creating a lot of value. We come into our own and we come into ourselves. But really, it's not for us. It's for others. On the job, in the home, for the wife, for the husband. A lot of it is for others. And what happens to many of us, especially if we are not a part of a family business where we would have natural continuity, is that you're suddenly out with what to do, because your definition of yourself is really what you have been doing. So I was the manager of this. I was the officer in charge of this. I was the something defined by somebody else's entity. And when we look back on that stage of life, we realize that, you know, we made a hell of a difference there. We can look and see the people we influenced. We can look and see the programs we created. We could look at and see the changes we manifested. But when this time comes, and whether it's called retirement, whether it's called retrenchment, whether it's called downsizing, whether it's called, I just fed up and I'm leaving, whatever it is, when we come out, we often don't know how to transition those skills and those talents and those wonderful things that we've done for others to ourselves. And there's another issue that is compounding the difficulties for our 50-plus cohorts. And I don't think it should be a difficulty, it's an opportunity. It's our children, the millennials, because they are barging onto the stage and taking charge of that stage in a way that we didn't. We were more measured, we were more considerate, we were more careful, and we took probably a longer time to get to where we were. So as we transition, we are trying to balance, because in life you never look at yourself. You always look at yourself in relation to an other and the next, or the one before or the one after. So when I started working with Jennifer, we said, listen, there's something beyond the individual workshops, the individual small groups. This cohort, of which I'm so proud to be a part, I am 57. I have no problem in announcing that because nobody believes it. So there is so much talent, so much energy, so much vitality that we've created. But I don't think we are very interested in this stage in using it in the way that we did during the second act. I think we're more interested in doing it for ourselves, to have fun, to create new things, to pass on to others. And really, when we look at what is available and the way organizations are structured, they're really not open and inviting to our cohorts to be able to recreate ourselves, to be a mentor to others coming up, and to have fun. So when we looked at Connections 50 Plus Series 2019-2020, we said, what are we going to do? So we decided, let's structure everything around a series of conversations. Let's do things where like-minded people can come together and talk about topics of interest, talk about things that we'd like to do, all of it is not necessarily going to be about what we do for money. It's not all going to be about work. It could be about how we prepare our children to be better than where we are. It could be about how we pass on wealth to the next generation. It could be about how we as women and how we as men, people who after a career have assets, now manage it. And one of the most important things that we discovered is people were looking for a good old social network. You know, you see a little show, you want to go, it's 50 plus. Gentlemen, no offense. But sometimes he not as active as he was before and don't want to go as often as willingly as he did before. Or, gentlemen, I know, what happened to you? You sit down home, you're like the broom. Come on, let's go. But there's nothing wrong. And it's not that there's nothing wrong. In all societies, you have groups where people network. Networking is the current, it's necessary in today's world. How do I meet new people? How do I meet like-minded people? How do I get an opportunity to link with someone who has a complementary talent or skill to the one I have? And how do we start something different and start something new? Just as Jennifer and I have done. Okay? So Connections 50 Plus is our vehicle to help us get there. As we said, we have worked out over the next 12 months a series of small group conversations. And for those of you who've been part, hi Beatrice, who've been part of the small group conversations, it's where a group of about 12 people with a thought leader in a field would talk about a burning issue. It's not counseling. It's not training. It's where you get a chance to say, have your voice heard. Then we have the large groups. The large groups may be more structured in terms of you have an idea in terms of what you want to do with your life going forward, where we can help to guide you in terms of developing a business idea, a business plan, some social function, something like that. And then we have the social engagements like this, where we come together and in the context of a lime, we could say it's an excuse for a lime, we do some serious stuff. We meet our friends, we meet our colleagues, and we create something that allows other people, those after us, to come onto the stage with a little bit more grace, with a little bit more purpose. So the 50 Plus journey is really one where we help each other to discover our great potential, to explore and build our networks around each other, where we can support each other in the things that we do, the things that we like. And we make sure that as we enter this last phase, this final 30 years, we might go to 40 or 50, all right? There are lots of 110s that are walking around and having a good time. That we do it with a difference and we have fun on our terms. So that's the whole issue of Connections 50 Plus as we go along. Okay? So.
All right. So basically, what you're doing is letting people 50 plus know that life really does begin at 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say yes, that is it. Yeah,
It continues.
It's a whole new stage of life. Very energetic, a happy one. This is the time when you're taking care of you. You finish take care of all the children. You finish take care of everybody. You may still have your parents, but that's okay. But you're taking care. You come first. Right? So that is how I would put it. You come first.
Yeah.
So it's okay to take care of you at this stage. You don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel selfish about wanting to do something just for you, even though you may have children banging on the door wanting attention. Mommy, daddy, this, that, whatever. Exactly. So
Wait, does anyone know about the concept of the sandwich generation? Anyone familiar with that concept? Where we are the cheese or the ham? And what are the two slices of bread? Given pressure. Children on one side and the parents on the other side. And because they demand as much from us, what do we, this generation that has done so much to build, what do we do best? Give and give. But we are saying that we are very capable of giving, but not forgetting this person. Because what is a sandwich if the cheese fall out? 2 pieces of dry bread. Okay? So we are really about creating that space and that time that allows us to continue to blossom and continue to be as fantastic as we had been for the past 20 or 30 years, and continuing to do that into the next 30.